All right, startup time. Let's see how it sounds.
Guys, welcome back to Go Where's Moto. Today, we're getting rid of this hideous thing down here that's hanging off the bottom of the bike. The exhaust. It is aftermarket, but what we've got is a nice undertail exhaust come up to underneath the tail end with the dual exit. So it'll definitely freshen up the bike, make it look much better, and probably give another 250 horsepower, something like that.
All right, so this is the box the exhaust came in. Pretty small, as you can see, which is surprising to think there's a full system in here, but it's kind of fitting since the Grom is so small anyway. So it's come with a bunch of pipes, as you can see. A lot of pipes. You've got the hanger to hang it from under the exhaust as well. And then hardware, clamps, and also the cans, so 2 cans. We're going dual exit. Very legit SC Project cans, of course. So we got 2 of these, and yeah, should look mint.
These welds are pretty clean. They've got to be machine welded, I would say, not by hand. Super clean, all the pieces.
On all the pieces, like, that's beautiful. It's not the stock exhaust, but this is how it sounds, the one that's currently on there.
Good old Bangkok exhaust, bro.
And this is how the revs sound. Like shit. Alright, so firstly we've got 2 12mm bolts to take off the exhaust hanger here. Damn, bro. What the fuck? Holy shit, that's tight. Damn, okay.
That's crazy.
Maybe I have to hold the back too. Anyway, I'll do this one first.
Damn, bro.
Bro, this thing's bolted down to like, it's 100 million newton meters.
Come on, mate. Oh, did you crack it?
Yeah, I think so.
Pause, bro.
Another benefit is this isn't gonna be rubbing all over the swing arm like it has been. Next you've got 2 bolts here. I think they're also 12mm, but because they're so close to the exhaust, just have to do it with a spanner or a wrench or something.
No way.
Okay, so one of them, the stud has come out, and the other one, it's stayed in, so we're not sure. I don't think it's meant to come off, so we're gonna have to crack this. Pause. And somehow get it back in there. Bro, how does that even happen?
That's crazy.
Maybe I should have loosened it more. So while we wait for the WD-40 to soak into that bolt and hopefully come off the stud, we're just gonna put the exhaust hanger. So it's the 4 bolts that we had for the wheelie bar. So you're just gonna remove the back 2 because it bolts up to here, the exhaust hanger. The holes don't quite line up perfectly, but once we loosen those up, hopefully it will all be good.
Okay, so we've just got the hanger on. Thankfully these came with longer bolts because the bolts that came with the wheelie bar, they were just too short where you can't even get a nut onto the thread.
And these bolts are still a bit too short, but it's enough to hold it on for now, but we'll go source some longer ones later.
Right, so Piyush is going to have another attempt at cracking the stud. This guy didn't say pause, so. After a bit of effort, we managed to actually get this second nut off without removing the stud again.
All right, so next you've got the 3 pieces, so the sort of split pipe, the main pipe, and then the pipe that connects to the engine. So you just slot them together, and you're gonna slot over an exhaust clamp on each part as well. So you've got 2 exhaust clamps, 1 for each joint, and then you're just gonna bolt this up to the engine, which we'll do first, and then we'll connect the rest up. What's all that gunk in there? Yeah, but it looks good on the outside, that's all that matters. All right, so next you're just gonna connect this piece. So this feeds up through the gap that's just behind the swing arm. Yeah, and that just slides on there.
It comes up.
Now how are we gonna connect this one? This is gonna be a pain, I feel like. So we'll slot the clamp on there first, so we don't forget, and then...
Just gotta maneuver this piece around the shock. That is now on. Oh,
looks like it. Sweet.
That's as far down as I can get it.
And now we're just gonna do up both clamps and then put the cans on. So we're gonna put both cans on before we tighten everything up, just because this is the main piece that really holds everything together, all the weights on the back with the cans. So we've got the hangers here. So you're just gonna line it up, and then you've got a bolt with the washer. Feed that through while you squeeze the hanger together, the clamp. And you just put a bolt on the back.
A nut.
A nut on the back of the bolt. Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, I heard that.
And yeah, you just tighten that up, and that's one side done. And then you've got the springs next.
Just that shot alone, that looks pretty sick. It's way better than the whatever was hanging on down here below.
So whenever anyone does an exhaust on their bike, they always do the straight pipe check. So we're gonna do it on the Grom, being the powerful beast that it is.
The bubble tune. That's hilarious. Every Grom you have to do that. If you ever changing the exhaust in the Grom, just take off your headers, and once your headers are off, just give it that little test run. And feel free to max out the RPM, because it's really healthy.
All right guys, so exhaust is all done, so it looks mint as you can see. So we've tightened up the 2 exhaust bolts and the exhaust clamps. The only issues we had were the exhaust, the springs were too long. So they didn't actually have any tension, they were just dangling. So we removed them for now because they were just gonna be rattling while riding anyway. And the other issue was the bolts that hold the hanger in are too short because of the wheelie bar. So just have to get something slightly longer. The nuts are still sitting on there, but they're only about halfway threaded through. So that's another issue, but that's an easy fix anyway. All right, startup time. Let's see how it sounds. Wait a minute.
Huh? All right,
and the sound test. Sounds a bit bubbly actually. Sounds halfway between the bubble car and the actual sound. Sounds good.
Yeah, when you rev it, it sounds nice.
A bit raspy.
All right, so exhaust is on. We're pretty happy with it. You know, it's not bad for $100. Can't really complain. Obviously, a couple little issues like the springs that we got were too long, and the bolts are slightly too short with this wheelie bar. And also it took 6 weeks to arrive, which, you know, wasn't ideal, but nothing major. It's here, it's on the bike, sounds great.
Alright guys, that was another Goways Moto video. Make sure to like and subscribe to keep up to date with any more content. We've got plenty more coming, and thanks for watching. We've tightened up all the exhaust clamps. 2 bolts here are tight now. No, they're not. Did we retighten these?
Yeah, we did.
And that's it. Make sure to like and subscribe to Goways Moto. Keep up to date with all our content coming up. And thanks for watching. And that was another Goways video. don't cut it.
I won't.
All right, so this is how this, well, it's not the stock. Got 2